Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and the continuation of the Ella and Alec saga, although actually it's been a lot about Agatha and Jacoby too. So we're heading back over now to Agatha. As I lie in bed, I can't help but overhear Jacoby and Froth. I'm no expert in politics, but it's pretty clear that this minuscule person is here to cause trouble, and an army of plague guys are lurking nearby. Think, Agatha. There must be something I can do. A plan forms. Sure, it involves joining Jacoby and Froth, which won't be easy. It's certainly possible, though. I force myself out of bed, open Jacoby's dresser, and pull out one of his fancier tunics. The thing is covered in jewels that are made to look like tiny balls. Must be for fancy occasions. Perfect. Raising my arms, I slip it over my head. It looks like I'm wearing a potato sack, which is my normal look. However, in this case, I must resemble a queen. So I fish around a little more, find a belt. I tie it up and give a little more fancy to my pants. With the belt in place, I kick off my shoes and go for the barefoot fae look. None of Jacoby's shoes fit me, so this will have to do. With slow steps, I saunter into Jacoby's main reception chamber. At least, I hope it looks like a saunter. Truth is, I feel so sick I can hardly go super slow. Even so, I've seen Ivy and Marchester work this walk often enough. I can pull it off. Possibly. My legs feel like wet noodles below me. With every passing second, my gait gets more unsteady. When I finally reach the main room, I have to lean against the door jamb to stop myself from falling over. Jacoby's back is to me. There's no missing the tightness in his shoulders. The prince is worried. For his part, Froth angles his mask towards me. Agatha. Jacoby turns around. The moment he sees me in the doorway, his features fall slack with shock and worry. He points towards my bedroom. No questions what he'll say next. I should be resting, which is true. It's not going to happen, though. I try to lift my hand in a queenly gesture, but my arm feels too weak to do more than a twitch. I raise my chin instead. I am Queen Adele of Moonbeams. That seems a little short in terms of titles, so I add a little more. You look open to revered ally to the Sealy Court. That's a lot for Froth to process. If you ask me, the fact that I exist should be a major shock. That's not what Froth focuses on, though. The Sealy Court, Froth repeats. I know enough about politics to realise that all this focus on the Sealy Court means something. Sadly, I'm too out of it to process what that might be. Fortunately, Jacoby does. A satisfied gleam shines in Prince's eyes. Seconds ago, Jacoby was all slack with worry. Now the lines of his face tighten into an expression of detached amusement. I don't know what's going on, but I'm glad Jacoby is on top of things. Oh no, my legs decide that now is a great time to turn extra noodle-like. It's a matter of seconds before I face plant into the floor. The prince rushes to my side and wraps his arm around my waist. Your Highness, you should be seated. That's the only appropriate stance for one of your station. I couldn't walk if I wanted to, but Jacoby is able to slide me onto a nearby bench. Somehow I managed to speak with a steady voice. Thank you. Jacoby takes a seat beside me. Thankfully, he maintains his grip on my shoulders. If he didn't, I'd probably fall over. Froth steps closer. It's hard to tell what the guy is looking at, considering how he's just a pointy face and a cape. But the aisles of his mask reflect the image of Jacoby's hand on my shoulder. Like my mention of the Sealy Court, that feels important. But just like that previous hint, I don't have the mind power to process what it means right now. You're a bonded pair, asked Froth. Ah, so that's what he's thinking. I hadn't considered pushing this angle, but it makes sense. My plan didn't go further than showing up and throwing around my status as Queen of the Moonbeam Court. But if I'm bonded with Jacoby, that's definitely a replacement for his missing herd. I couldn't have set things up better myself. If Froth thinks that Jacoby and I are bonded and can share power, he won't release the Mandrake's army. Are we a bonded pair? I repeat. Of course. Froth steps closer. Yet, you don't smell like a bonded pair. There are two key things here. I had no idea getting bonded made you give off a unique scent. Plus, who knew that this guy could smell anything through a mask? Jacoby gently kisses my cheek. How right you are, my love. He glares at Froth. Do not doubt, my queen. My mind takes a snapshot of the moment. Sure, this is a terrible situation. Hundreds of plague monsters are waiting nearby, ready to swoop in and do who knows what to me and Jacoby. Even if I wield my magic, I'm way too tired to take on an army. And Jacoby isn't his best either, considering how drained he is from his magical reserves to keep me alive. Yet even with all this, I love the feeling of him kissing my cheek. A chill runs down my back. Did I just think the word love? I must be more old than I thought. Froth walks closer. You look unwell, your majesty. I gasp. Did I tell you to come closer to my royal person? I did not. Froth steps backward. If you're so healthy and powerful, then you'll be able to visit Kaiser Mandrake tomorrow evening. I'm sure he would very much like to congratulate you two on your bonding. I sigh. That sounds rather boring. I look to Jacoby. Don't we have more important things to do? In all truth, I'd rather have the tooth pulled than go see Kaiser Mandrake. But Jacoby knows the politics here far better than I do. If he thinks we need to trot past the kingpin plague doctor in order to prove we're really a team, then I can rally. Jacoby waves his hand dismissively. I suppose we can stop by Littleput tomorrow evening. He glares at Froth. If you leave right now, that is. Of course. Froth bows to me and Jacoby in turn. Finally walks away. The moment the door closes, I slump against Jacoby's shoulder. That sucked. I disagree. The prince kisses the top of my head. That was one of the most brilliant shows of political acumen I've ever seen. What an achievement, Agatha. Is there some kind of prize I can award you? How about some chicken soup? Consider it done. Jacoby. Scooping Agatha into my arms, I carry her back to her room. Once she's settled in place, I conjure up some chicken soup. I'm pretty drained from last night, but one bowl isn't too much. Agatha takes a cautious sip. It's delicious. There's a human television show with a so-called soup Nazi. Turns out, it's Sophie who runs a real place in Midtown Manhattan. He taught me the recipe, and I can summon up at will. It's a perfect reward. Agatha finishes half the bowl and leans back onto her pillow pile. She tries to focus on me. Her eyes flutter to stay open. I pull the bowl from her hands. Perhaps you can finish the rest later on. I start to leave, then pause. So you know, I won't hold you to visit Kaiser Mandrake. I can make up a plausible excuse. What do you want to do? Agatha's eyes are only open the barest amount. Don't you think the question should be, what do we want to do? It looks like we're a team. My heart warms. I didn't want to assume. What I want to do is live in New York, fix up Cinder Mercantile. But this thing with Nart Adele just hit the next level. It's become more than finding a vessel and I in order to bring back the Sealing Imperials. Nart Adele took your herd, Jacoby. I liked all of those folks, and I want to take the fight to her. She fully closed her eyes. But for now, I need some rest. Sweet dreams, I say. And if some extra innuendo gets in my voice, so be it. I know Agatha pictures me mostly naked. Yes, last night. Does she remember that well? In reply, Agatha blushes a deep shade of red. Oh, she recalls everything all right. As I leave the room, I take that as a very good sign indeed. Agatha and I are rebuilding here. I won't give up until we said, today is the truth. Agatha and I are bonded. With that happy thought in mind, I step down the hallway toward the main room. A view up my window stops me in my tracks. Froth lied. There's no plan to host me and Agatha at Littleput. I know this because the plague army now hovers outside my window. Damn. Oh, jeez. And that's the next part of the story. I hope Agatha and Jacoby are going to be alright. Thank you for listening, and many blessings.